Alright, hello. Today let's talk about ellipses. As always, our date is today. We do have some objectives. We're going to write the equations of ellipses and we're going to graph them. We're going to find vertices, covertices, and the foci. It'll be a ton of fun. So, I will let you read the definition on your own. I'm not going to read to you, but what that really is saying is if I were to add up the red lines, the distance, it is the same as the green lines. Any 2 points along here is going to be the same distance. So even if I did another point right here, and we will make this one pink and dotted, that distance plus that distance would equal the green distance plus the green distance. Those distances are always going to be the same. All right, some properties of ellipses. You're going to have a center. The major axis is the longest axis. So sometimes you might get a parabola that is going to be tall and skinny. And that would just mean that your major axis is vertical. And your minor axis is going to be horizontal. You're going to have two foci. Those are points that are always going to be on the major axis. Okay? In the Desmos activity, we talk about that formula. Your center is your H and your K. A squared and B squared is what it's being divided by. And the distance from the center to the vertice is A. And they put H plus A here. I always just go ahead and add A to it. K is the distance from the center to the covertice. You need to know that formula right there, and we're going to be doing a couple of them. That is for finding the foci. Sometimes it's given as C equals the square root of A squared minus B squared, and it's the same thing. Okay? So there's a lot of information there. So let's kind of reiterate. The center, H and K. Your foci are going to be on the center, or on your major axis. The endpoints are your vertices. Along your minor axis are your covertices. A squared, it's underneath the x. That tells you, if you take the square root of A squared, that tells you how many right and how many left you're going to go. Underneath your B, or your Y, is your B squared. Take the square root of that. That tells you how many up and how many down you're going to go. Your vertices are always along your major axis, and your covertices are always along your minor. The foci can be found from C equals A squared minus B squared. Again, a lot of information right there. So let's go ahead and we're going to graph one of these, okay? And we're going to find all the information. On the Desmos activity, I would expect you just to put this into the graph and go from there. So first of all, I'm going to think of that 16 as 4 squared, and that is 2 squared. Just makes it a little bit easier. So my center is negative 3, 1. And I'm going to start by plotting that center. So negative 3, 1. Here's my center. All right. That's 4. So from the center, along my x-axis, I'm going to go right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are my vertices. Now I need to find my co-vertices, and that's going to be underneath my y. It's a 2 squared, so b is 2. So from the center, I'm going to go up 2, down 2. And I'm going to do my best drawing a ellipse, and I am not great at that. Give myself a C minus. And then if I wanted to find the foci, my C is going to be the square root of 16 minus 4. So that would be the square root of 12. If I simplify that, is 2 radical 3. So from the center, I'm going to go over 2 radical 3, which is, I think, I'd have to 1.7 times, it's like 3.5, thereabout. So it's going to be 1, 2, it's going to probably be right about here and here. But that's going along the x. So if I wanted to find those ordered pairs, I know my center was negative 3, 1. So that would be negative 3 plus 2 radical 3. Because I'm just increasing my x value. And then minus 2 radical 3, because I'm going left as well. All right. So that's how you can graph one. Let's go ahead and do an easy one where it's on the center. I'm going to think of that as 5 squared and 4 squared. So my center is 0, 0. Underneath my x is a 5 squared. That tells me right or left. Right 5, left 5. Underneath my y is a 4 squared. That tells me up or down. Up 4, down 4. My major axis is horizontal, because that's my biggest axis. So now I need to find my foci. C is going to be square root of 25 minus 16. So that one is easy. That's just going to be 3. The square root of 9 is 3. So here, I'm going to go right 3. So my foci there is just 3, 0. And then I'm going to go left 3, which would be negative 3, 0. If this were an up and down ellipse, where it's kind of squished on the sides, instead of going right or left for the foci, I'd be going up and down. The foci is always on the major axes. All right. So on this one, to write the equation, well, looks like my center is 0, 0. So I can start with x squared. And I'm always going to have a y squared plus sign, and then here is a y squared. And if I wanted to, I could have put x minus 0, y minus 0 quantity squared, but there's really no reason to. I'm going to find my a value. So here, I'm going right 2. So 2 squared. I could have also thought of it as left 2. And then I'm going to go up 1 or down 1, so that would just be 1 squared. All right, I think that is going to be all that I'm going to do for the notes on this one. We could go a little bit more in depth, but for this unit, we are kind of shorting it this year, and I think that is going to be good enough for you right now. So hopefully you enjoy it.